Hi, hello, welcome back, or welcome to Sierra's Sacred Space. Am I tired? Yes. Did I know I wanted to record something? Also, yes, the fact that I'm at 27 subscribers is kind of crazy because I was just at 26, then I was just at 25, then I was just at 24. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to like, oh my gosh, yay! And then it's like like I said in one of my other videos, I think it was like, excuse me, I am so tired. Just enjoy the little things. Not well, yes, it was in the video. Just enjoy those little things. But okay, you're getting more subscribers. You're getting more views on your videos. Don't try to force yourself to record or to post or do whatever just because you have more people watching. Do it because you actually want to create videos, because you actually want to do said thing. Because the second you start doing it because you feel like you're obligated to do it, that's the second you no longer want to do it. So it's just one of those things. It's like one of those things where it's like, I am tired, I have no idea what I want to talk about. Yeah, I wanna record, I wanna yap. I do have ideas and plans of doing talking about my excuse me, my self-love journey and etc. um I do have plans for that. Then just downloaded a bunch of Sims custom content and etc. because I'm bringing back some old characters. Let me prop the camera up. This is my son, Stellar. This is Stellar. He has a twin sister named Stella. So we got Stella and Stellar. She's purple. But okay. So I used to write. I remember having my notebook in what was it? Ninth grade, 10th grade, just something. Having the notebook and getting an idea and just writing it down on paper. And I did this for my very first book that went kind of crazy on Wattpad. It was a fanfic, of course, because that was what was popular at the time. And it was just that drive, or just the excitement of getting an idea or playing out dialogue in my head and just writing it out. It it made me so excited. And what was it, 2 weeks ago I was filling out scholarship applications, and I was like, okay, I need to actually answer these questions. So before I knew it, I had a notepad and I was writing down the full answers to the prompts. And I was like, I haven't done this in a minute. So it was just the act of writing down my raw ideas. And then I wrote a paper reflecting about using AI because in one of my classes we had to generate a paper using AI. We had to feed AI the prompt, and then AI generates the paper. And then after that, we had to do a reflection for the paper. And in that full-blown reflection, guys, I entered the flow state, and I was like, oh my goodness, my brain actually can cook and etc. Excuse me, which I already knew it could. It's just getting caught up in the momentum of okay, when it comes to me using I get a study guide, copy and paste a study guide. Can you make me some flashcards? Can you do this? Can you do that? But never to the point of writing a full paper. I always got it to do my outlines, but never have I just had it make a full-blown paper that I just kind of submit without reading through. But even still, then I haven't just had it do a whole paper for me. But in that one time when I was doing that AI reflection, I was like, oh my gosh, I missed my writing voice. I missed hearing myself. I missed hearing myself just kind of yap on paper. And I got a 25 out of 25. I'm like, okay. And then before I know it, I was blowing the dust off of two of my old characters that I had a book about them. Well, I wanted it to become a book, but I stopped writing the book because I no longer could resonate with the characters, because I'm like, okay, they're still stuck here and I've moved out of this, and I don't know how to continue writing from this place because I'm no longer in it. So I kind of just scrapped them. But recently, I was like, okay, if Aalia, the first main character, her name is Aalia Aydan James. She went by AJ in the book. So I'm like, okay, if AJ was talking right now, or if Aalia was talking right now, what would she say? And it was basically present her yapping about, what her life is like now, because she was 21 at the time of me writing this. So it's been roughly like 4 years in the time skip that I'm gonna do. And then I had the second I'm gonna say the protagonist, the second main character, Maikaila, MJ. Her name is Maikaila Eclair Celise. I love making names. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love making names. Or that's just like, I like putting names together that sound nice. Anywho, I started writing from her point of view of what she would be like, because I kept trying to scrap those characters. I kept trying to be like, you know what, we're just gonna make new characters because I can't write this story, so I want to write a new one. But I kept coming back because I love those characters. They hold a deep place in my heart. Like, I remember in school one time they were like, oh, if it came to, like me choosing the made up characters in my head versus like a real person, I'd always choose the made up characters because, like, unlike people, they wouldn't leave me. But that was old me. I don't think like that now. That's kind of bad. But I don't think like that now. But I just know, I was like, oh, and even now, calling them like Aalia and Maikaila instead of calling them AJ and MJ, because I'm like, okay, they only went by their nicknames because I didn't really want people to know the real them, because they really didn't know the real them. And then, like, oh, Maikaila, she had locks. Okay, actually, she cut her locks. She had now has short hair. But then I'm like, wait, the scene I just wrote out where they bumped into each other, now I gotta back it up. Now I gotta backtrack, because, like, okay, the first thing Aalia's gonna notice is like, wait, where are your locks? So I'm like, wait, when I was making Maikaila and Sims, I was like, actually, I kind of like this pulled back look with the claw clip. Maybe Maikaila never had locks to begin with. So it's just playing around and realizing that since nobody other than me really knows who these people were, or who these characters were, I can give them a whole new life. They don't have to live through all the trauma, because, like, I realize a lot of the characters that I write, we end up living like vicariously through each other, and I'm like no longer in the, like, Aalia represented in me when I was like in the closet and not like in the healthiest relationship. And Maikaila, she was supposed to be the one who was like, just exuding that nonchalantness about being queer and not having any cares in the world. And Aalia essentially latched on to Maikaila. And then there was like a later chapter that I wrote. I also would write chapters in advance. Like, we have chapter 6. I have chapter 8 and 9 wrote out, and then I would just have trouble trying to connect them. But Maikaila got mad that Aalia had clinged on to her so bad. And then in part of the like little blowing the dust off of the characters, Maikaila was like, the only reason why I got mad that she was using me as support is because I never really had support myself. So it was just like, oh, thinking back to how I thought or how they thought back then and thinking now, it was really fun. And then writing out the meeting again, because at first I was like, oh, I thought she was going to be angry because Aalia basically left her modeling agency. She was a model. She left her modeling agency, moved to Arizona with her cousin. Her cousin is one of my other characters that I haven't wrote in her voice in a minute. But she left, went to Arizona, and I'm like, okay. Actually, I think I want Aalia to have tattoos. But then I'm like, wait, okay, within those 4 years, if she was a model and she was expected to be this specific way, and she was expected to be upkept no matter what, of course, if she decides she wants to have a bunch of tattoos, that we can make that happen. While also simultaneously thinking that whenever I decide to share the finished, this is Aalia Aydan James, or this is Maikaila Claire Celise, nobody knows who they were, so you only know who I share. So it's I love like the nuance and coming up with characters. Like, oh, actually, I thought Maikaila was gonna have short hair, because I can imagine her like short hair. I think she's gonna wear Birkenstocks in the fit that I have her in Sims. I know one thing that I really pointed out was like she had a freaking Rolex watch on. It was in the first chapter. the way I described their outfits and stuff was crazy. I'm also out of practice when it comes to like writing stuff, and just like writing scenes, and dialogue just happens to be how I typically talk, my cadence of speaking. Just seeing the scenes play out in my head, and just trying to figure out how to put it on paper. So it's one of those like, oh, I'm working with myself, because if one day I decide, oh, I'm gonna write, then I'll write, and just not being so like critical of me writing, because I'm like, I want to write this. I'm not a very skilled writer, like top tier writer, but I can write. So I'm not gonna like criticize or like critique my work when I know that I'm just creating this in good fun, because excuse me, I have a story I want to like convey or tell. So I'll do that. But it's fun whenever I'm like not tired, and whenever I figure out what they're gonna look like, I'll not more than likely, but I will be posting like a create a sim speed build, and just me giving you more lore about the characters. And then I'm already downloading extra decor in Sims for their apartments, because as of right now, the current lore, well, what I have written is that Aalia, she moved into this new apartment building that Maikaila also happens to stay at, and they bumped into each other because Maikaila was on her way home, because she was on her way home from her studio, and Aalia did not know that this is Maikaila's building, because the last time she was here 4 years ago, she stayed somewhere else. So they ran into each other when Aalia was moving in and Maikaila was coming home. But I don't know if I actually want to keep. It's just a lot. It's more so I'm writing this because this felt nice, and if this doesn't end up being in like the final cut or whatever, then it doesn't have to be in the final cut. It's also another one of those things where it's like, is this even going to be, a book? Because I remember wanting to write a book so bad, a book that was like, beyond just the pages of Wattpad. And my only thing with like making a book was like, oh, I don't want it to be like, you know, the next book. I don't want it to be like any of these like cringy cliche plot lines. And I also don't want the book to just be, excuse me, like my life. Not that there's anything wrong with my life. Excuse me. My my characters just ended up living like vicariously through me, or I just ended up one of those two, and I kind of wanted to, you know, like stray away from that, but like doing the thing where it's like, oh, you're writing as a complete opposite. I find it harder to do that than it is, like, I find it hard to not write as me. So now I'm gonna try to, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go take a personality test for this character. I'm gonna do an Enneagram for this character. I'm gonna do an MBTI. Is MBTI something personality? Anywho, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make them playlists. Like, I'm going to try to embody this character. Who is Aalia? Who is Maikaila? So it's just, I don't know, man. Writing made my brain happy. Like, I felt so, oh wow, this is probably one of my longest videos yet. It's just writing and just doing things that, you know, make my brain happy. Crocheting, playing Sims, coloring. All of my hobbies are painting. All of my hobbies are pretty much on rotate, and it just depends on which one my brain likes now. It's kind of hard to like actively write though, like on a computer or on my phone, because most of my study resources are on my computer, so my brain hates, my body, my eyes hate staring at a computer screen for an extended period of time. So it's just, you know, work around baby steps and whatnot. But okay, I have finally scratched the video itch and etc. So that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed my little yap session and lore dump of two characters that I hold very close to my heart, because I love them so much. I love their relationship that I have planned out in my head. And honestly, I believe being in a healthy queer relationship now is going to help me be able to write them better, because I found it really hard to like write something healthy when I wasn't experiencing anything healthy. But I believe I'll be fine with that. But yeah, no, that's all. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.